guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. There's a lot of controversy surrounding Meghan and Harry's upcoming United Nations speech on the 18th of July. It's in 3 days, and a lot of people are confused as to how they even got the opportunity. Now, those of us who have been following this for quite some time, yourselves and myself, as I run this channel, we are fully aware of the fact that Meghan and Harry have paid off the organisers in order to get this cheap PR. They are, of course, attempting to buy people's affections, and they want to be seen as people who are actually doing something because they're pretty much unemployed and they are living at their own leisure. They've left their queen and country, so effectively they are unemployed. They want to look useful, and they are also hell-bent on rivaling the overarching mission of the royal firm itself in order to benefit themselves, live a glorified celebrity lavish luxury lifestyle off of the backs of those who are impoverished and disadvantaged. And their main PR strategy seems to be jumping upon and swinging off of the coattails of those who have done the real hard graft work, or those who are in very difficult diabolical situations that they can exploit to their own advantage. Their marketing plan pretty much runs to the tune of this. They show up, they take a picture alongside the devastation, they glorify themselves, make a little speech, say a few words. Meghan wears a total of £27,000 to £40,000 worth of jewelry and clothing, and then they walk off. That's pretty much it. It's all about self-gratification and glorification, and not really about changing anyone's lives or making effective improvements in this world that we live in. They simply just want the money. So, of course, a lot of people are confused as to how Meghan and Harry was even invited. Eamon Holmes, who was a very prominent talk show host over here in the UK, has basically asked the question, how was Harry, of all people, invited and set to deliver this United Nations address? I'm going to get into this article by The Express. It, of course, has a lot of steam under it. A lot of people are fuming. Eamon Holmes wasn't pleased to learn Prince Harry and his wife Meghan Markle will be meeting with the United Nations next week. GB News presenter Eamon Holmes launched into a rant against the Sussexes when it was confirmed Harry and Meghan will be addressing the UN in New York next week. The former royals will touch on crises such as climate change and world hunger during the visit. Eamon was confused as to why the couple had been invited in the first place. Eamon insisted Harry and Meghan were the wrong people for the job after confirming their forthcoming visit to the UN. It was confirmed Harry would deliver a speech on climate change and world hunger in the couple's first public appearance since the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. The GB News presenter argued the controversial royals didn't have the authority to tackle such pressing global issues, and he opened the segment by saying, how has Prince Harry been invited to the United Nations? Eamon and his co-host, Isabel, spoke to expert Katie on their breakfast show for her insight on the latest royal stories and updates, especially regarding Harry and Meghan. Katie exclaimed, I knew this was going to irritate you greatly. I'm just saying, what qualifies him to address the United Nations? Eamon continued on to rant. She replied, well, he is a former member of the royal family. He has a name behind him. He went on to say, what's he got to say that will change the world or even influence the world? Harry and Meghan last attended the UN General Assembly in September last year, but did not take part in any speeches. He is now confirmed to be making a speech to the United Nations in his first public appearance with Meghan since the Jubilee celebrations. Despite his royal credentials, Eamon was convinced Harry doesn't have the qualifications needed to give his thoughts on such crucial topics. Katie said, joking aside, I think if climate change is on the agenda, then Harry is probably going to be pretty impressive on that front. The royal commentator recalled the Sussexes' previous statement on the pandemic, in which they fought for a more universal vaccine. Whether they like him or not, over there in America, they do tend to listen to him a lot more than they do here. Eamon responded, my problem with this is it's fine if he's got a message on climate change and on poverty, but is it really going to be effective enough to change the world? And I'm going to stop there because I really feel as though that summarizes what a lot of people think and feel about them. How effective could their opinions possibly be? We know that they don't have any real solutions. These are two runaway royals who essentially did not want to have to get up, as I said previously in my old video, at 5 a.m. in the morning and meet commoners like myself, like yourself, regular people. They wanted the frills and the adulation that comes with being of public service, but they did not want the reality of what it is to be the footman on the ground. In their private lives, Meghan and Harry lead very lavish, selfish, self-indulgent reality. They live in an exclusive part of America where most people cannot afford to live, amongst A-listers who have worked for every single thing that they have accomplished, and they essentially don't really do anything. Meghan and Harry are nothing like the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, who are currently on their annual leave. They've taken a break with their children and they've gone on a summer holiday. So they're taking a short break from their royal duties. But you can see that they consistently show up to events, they consistently work, they are consistently of public service, consistently meeting people whether they like it or not, who they don't necessarily know, who they don't necessarily have commonality with, and they are putting themselves out there to publicise causes. For William's birthday, he essentially was on the streets selling the big issue. Meghan and Harry would never do that. They would never put themselves out there like that, because it, of course, is self-sacrificing and it is a selfless act that he performed. He is using his royal blood, his royal connection, in an effective way to change people's lives and to bring attention to causes that we wouldn't necessarily take heed of if it wasn't being publicised by the royal firm. Harry and Meghan literally just want the glamour. They just want to mix with the relevant people, the richest people in the neighborhoods like Oprah, like Jay-Z, like Beyonce, Katy Perry, Adele, all of these fancy industry people. But they don't want to do the hard graft, which is getting your hands dirty. Yet they view themselves as humanitarians, but they're afraid to fly commercial with average normal people. It's the hypocrisy of it all. And Eamon is not the only commentator who's raged about this, so what can we really say about it? With all that being said, guys, I will be back with another video.